And all right, hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13. I'm the Mysterious JG, and I have with me today a very special guest,
Who's
Mr.
here?
Lethal W Feline.
W feline. I thought it was Lethal D feline, but either way, yes, I'm here against my will
The
to bring
W,
you
the W
hopefully
is
some
for D.
laughs.
Sorry, go ahead.
W is for D, and there's probably 40 of them. But let's go ahead and get this well-oiled series going.
Yeah, so I asked Lethal to step in, and similar to Zerfall helped me out a few weeks ago. I just like I'm trying to keep this. I'm enjoying the series, but I'm like, oh man, I'm actually about to go on vacation for a week, and it's going to be away from stuff. He was generous enough to donate some of our time usually devoted to Tales of Symphonia, which you can watch Lethal playing with me as assistants on two-player and mostly just doing goofy voices. We're over on Lethal's channel, and if you don't know how to find it, use Google. I can't help you beyond that.
I
But
mean, he could link it in the video description, but let's.
that really does sound like a lot of work, Lethal. I don't know.
I mean, I
I
don't even like to edit my descriptions, so I can't blame you.
Yeah. Anyway, no, but we're back, and last time, folks, we kind of we the last video or so, we were really wrapping up some of the major story content. And Lethal, I know you have a little bit of familiarity with this, but not a whole lot.
I know that there are characters by the names of what they had in the earlier games,
Yeah.
and now they're just completely different, or at least it seems different from the earlier two games. At least that was in episode 10 or so. So I'm not even sure what episode we're in now, just like 80 hours in.
Oh, it's like episode 6, 9. I don't know. We've had a lot of characters from the past come back. This might be time for the 10-cent recap of the series. You've got Lightning and Snow and Fang and Vanille and Zaz and Hope. That's who I was forgetting. They went through their whole adventure in the first game, and uh, Fang and Vanille kind of got taken off the table because they turned into a magical pillar of crystal energy because the power of love and friendship, and something happened there, and they were kind of removed. And then in the next game, we decided let's just have it be entirely about Lightning Sister Sarah. So the
Yep,
next game was about Lightning Sister Sarah, and Lightning appears as this kind of weird. She's removed from reality. She's somehow the soldier knight of the goddess of chaos at the end of time. And I guess in theory, over the course of the game, you are finding out what happened and helping your sister. But really, they're just like, yeah, let's just have this game be about other people.
I'm sure the guys should just had a killer dental plan, and that's what tied it all in. And of course, they had to get rid of Vanille because Space Australia is just too powerful, has too much representation. So
I think they had to get rid of.
they got off the table.
And they had to get rid of Vanille because even by JRPG standards, there's like she's a little too photorealistic for us to have her traipsing around and telling the gamers that she's 13, but having her like yeah, she made me uncomfortable sometimes. But she's back and Fang's back and pretty much everybody is back except Sarah because the plot is that now Lightning is the she is the savior of souls, and she is a servant of the not at all suspicious god Bunavelza, who we have not seen, whose worshippers on the planet are all like just transparently evil and weird military people. But the god wants Lightning to be going out and saving souls, and Lightning is doing it because the god has promised that he will restore the soul of Sarah. So there's no way that this is all an evil trap. But
I mean, they gotta have some way to tie in that fourth game that Sarah's the main character in Wink.
oh God, I'm trying to think. Final Fantasy. What is Sarah's return?
Sarah returns.
Episode 5 will be like Dodge, the son of Zaz, gets his own game. Final Fantasy 13. Chocobo Kalina's return. No, but our basic story is we're off doing these quests. It's a much more open-ended game than the previous ones have been. But we've hit a point. This is not a game where Lightning powers up by killing enemies directly. This is a game where she powers up by doing quests. but they give you the freedom to do them in whatever order, and they give you kind of a certain amount of game time to get them all done before the end game triggers, whether you're ready for it or not. And I, in the last few videos, finished the last of the main story quests. So now we've got 3 days to just kind of dick around in the world, and that's where you come in, Lethal. We are literally, we are literally like, okay, we did the main quests, like, you know, we saved Snow's soul, and we faced Caius Ballad, the mysterious villain of the second game, and we've, you know, we did a bunch of crap in the desert that involved stuff and, you know, other things as well. We're now out of main quest, and we're just wandering around trying to find shit to do.
All right.
So if somebody has stars next to their name, we talk to them, and that's where we are. We're in the desert. We're in a camp made up of like desert thieves and rapscallions, and we're just
no one has a name.
Well, they get names after we talk to them, but I only talk to people who have stars under their question marks, because that means they have a quest.
All right, so we're Nemesis. We're looking for stars.
I do not want to talk to Barkeep. He's not a Hypello. I'm not interested.
It's just like the Uncle's game, isn't it?
They all look kind of the same.
I know you. You're that new bandit everyone's talking about, aren't you?
Yes, new.
Well, I don't listen to rumors.
Ooh, look at little Miss Antisocial. Well, I'm Jameis, former bandit.
So why don't you fuck right off?
Sure.
You know, I'm pretty sure I did this in the last video and just picked the wrong save slot.
I drink a whole ocean of chaos.
It's alright.
Drown my sorrows.
It's a good story.
I've been away from the desert for a while now, but I came right back when I heard about you, girlie.
Police?
And what do I have to do with anything?
Sit back and let me tell you the tale about my days as a greedy bandit.
Sit right back and I'll tell it to you.
Like how that woman just was like, oh my god, you're in the way, but there's like no one else around.
This game is all about NPCs just knocking someone in the middle of a cinematic right over.
But my kids love me like I was the greatest. But 156 years ago, on a day I can't forget, a day I don't want to remember.
Okay,
Don't.
calm.
No one's asking you to.
I do love Lightning's just fuck off everyone around me attitude.
Please hear me out. That day I had taken the
Her D&D profile is chaotic disinterested.
Exploration until those damn skeletons appeared. There wasn't time to get the kids away. The only one who survived
Was you. So you've been blaming yourself and plotting your vengeance? Is that it?
Nah, I just plotted my vengeance. I blame you.
like me. You think a washed-up loser like me has the guts to seek vengeance?
It has been like 150 something years. I don't think you do.
All I could do was hate those skeletons from afar.
Yet you came back to the desert now. All because you heard about me joining the gang?
All and because of the desert dental benefits. So, folks, I'm realizing I did this at the second half of the last video. I picked up the wrong slot, but it's actually kind of a fun quest. We'll just go through it again, because we actually don't have to do anything. He's asking us to go hunt all the skeletons in the desert to extinction, and not even being aware that was coming up as a quest, I've actually already done this. So
okay.
We will have a lengthy dialogue for this guy explaining how important it is that we kill skeletons. And we will tell him what a tall order that is. And then the dialogue will end, and I will press A, and she will explain to him that she has killed all the skeletons in the world.
It's funny that it is a tall order, because whenever you think skeletons, you don't think anything particularly difficult. It's usually like your level 1 or maybe level 5 quest.
It tends to be like, you know, I guess it depends. Like you're playing Castlevania, skeletons are like right after zombies, the weakest thing you're gonna fight.
I do love how the screen says 0 remaining.
Yep, slay all the skeletons. Good job, you've done it. But no, I think, I was quipping about this last time. My main thing was like, I've killed all the skeletons in the world. No one has the ability to get up and move around anymore. Muscles are just kind of tugging against nothing. There's no framing to anyone's bodies.
Know, folks, that you have a skeleton inside you right now.
Never mind that. It won't be easy, though. You better be ready for a wait.
I'll rebel you.
Yes, a wait.
I'll wait however long it takes. It'll be
However long a wait.
It really will be
5
nothing
seconds.
compared to the last 156 years, because guess what, buddy? Today's your lucky day.
What the hell has he been doing all these years?
Getting drunk.
You always wanted is complete. I destroyed every
I will
last
say
one of the
this.
skeletons that got your kid.
Some characters do a better job of encapsulating than others, but the game is consistent with presenting this theme of a world of people who have just been in a rut for 100+ years. Because part of the lore here is that people stopped aging and dying of natural causes 150 years ago, and no one can have kids. So it's really just a bunch of people who are all just kind of over it. It's a fun world to explore, an open world for you to explore, full of people who are all just kind of depressed and bored.
I can face the grief head on now.
Amisha had plenty of things to do. He has an ambition, but he hasn't worked towards that
Go
ambition.
visit their grave and
Disappointing,
tell them
Jameis.
about this.
And you look so cool. You've got this whole big boss thing going with the eye patch there. You got the Jack haircut.
Take that. Hmm? All right, let's get to some new content for the viewers, because even though this is new for me, I'm sure they'd like something
Oh, I'm sure they're
other than Lethal.
They're
I mean,
loving
Lethal
your
can also
company.
buy Soul.
No, I like the idea that he's big boss. Huh, kept you waiting for 156 years, huh? All right, well, there is one more thing that is repeat content, but there were two little quests I remember doing that were entirely dialogue-driven at the end. So I guess I need to knock them out, and then we can go look for the new
we could always-
sexiness.
We could always knock that out off screen, yeah? Or does it matter?
I'd rather just
try
knock
it,
it out
folks.
real quick. No, Lethal's trying to make this a better Let's Play than it has any right to be. I'll tell you what I'll do.
Okay.
I'm just going to...
What are you doing?
This kid's freaking terrible. Oh, actually, I believe I can skip most of this. Yeah, I can just skip
I was gonna say we're helping Robotnik Jr. here, who's lost all of his animal-powered robots, and we have returned them to him, and now he can die. That's the story I'm guessing happened.
No, exactly correct. Good job. You got it.
There you go. You can be free.
All right, Elmer.
If
Here's.
I want to make my dreams come true, I know if you find anything, want me to appraise?
So he's appraising stuff, and now I'm curious. Do we get exactly the same things that I got last time? I'm trying to discard that game. Okay. Pilgrim's Crest, Gold Dust. Remember the name, folks. Gold Dust. Okay, yeah, it does look like it registered what these unidentified items I've been collecting before I did this quest. It did. They do register as something. You don't have like RNG telling you what they actually are every time you talk
Just
to this kid.
masked. That's good.
Which means you can't save scum your way towards getting like, you know, I want all the best items.
I appreciate that. That's like legitimate appraising and identification. It's like, you don't know what these are. Here's this Robotnik kid. He will tell you.
It's legitimate other than the fact that, like, you know, when you actually appraise what they are, one of them is gold dust, another one is a crux, which in this game is this giant glowing spinning cross thing. It seems like Lightning should have been able to figure that one out for herself.
He should,
You know?
just like that guy decided never to follow his ambition of defeating the skeletons, Lightning also never followed hers of, you know,
Becoming
not
an appraiser.
becoming.
She has not
Or just
leveled
not
up her
being as
appraising
dumb.
skill. Literally, she had a list of items. Most of them were bronze medals, because that's a fairly common item you sell for cash. Some of them were silver medals. She apparently didn't have the ability to look at a silver medal and a bronze medal and distinguish between them, or even identify that they were medals. This is going to need an expert.
She just tries to bite into the bronze like it's a candy bar. She's just that thick.
I thought it was a wrapper. I was looking to see if we could find Fang, and she is not showing up. So one place where I know there is a quest to be done, even though it's a bit wasteful of my magical EPs here, I could teleport ourselves over to... because otherwise we're going to spend this entire video just running around back and forth.
Let's teleport.
We're going to
We
teleport...
probably have the EP for it.
We're going to teleport to the Wildlands, where in the most recent video we found out that a chocobo we've been riding is actually the powerful summon spirit Odin. Odin is back in chocobo form.
I mean, wasn't he always a chocobo, Wink?
We have a different definition of chocobo.
That's what the wing's for. I'm not being serious.
Oh, thank you for clarifying. Okay. See if
Just for viewers who may not be familiar with my wing style.
You can make everyone's wishes come true. Everyone.
See, now she represents what Colonel Sanders should be. It's an advertising icon. Sexy fried chicken. Doesn't look like I can do any of these quests, or they would be lit up.
My secret. Yes, it's me, Saz's darling little super adorable fantabulous chocobo chick.
Not at all
Yeah.
creepy.
Yep, and we have him to thank for you. That's good. Of all the things that Zaz has done, this is the most appropriate of praise.
Of all,
Making this Colonel Sanders.
he didn't. Yeah, that Chocobocolina. Just weird. Just some weird shit.
It's just another thing that the horny designers want to have in this game. Or games, I should say. And I'm here for it.
You know, enemies. I wasn't expecting enemies to be. I thought I'd hunted everything here to extinction, but this particular enemy type continues to appear forever. So I'd forgotten I could fight them to. And you can see a great view of the battle, but mostly you're just seeing a chocobo's ass.
Also seeing Anubis just get absolutely demolished by you being all dressed up. He's not really doing his job. God of death, no one's dying. What the fuck? Maybe he's lost his ambition to do anything.
I think so.
People for all this time. I don't feel like doing anything.
The God of Death has spent the last 126 years drinking in fear of skeletons.
And humans, apparently.
Well, I mean, they have skeletons in them, Lethal. They're the most
You know
dangerous
what?
skeletons of all. They're skeletons disguised as meat.
The bronze to metal. It's only bronze. It's not made of bronze. It just has a nice film of bronze on the outside.
I'm just happy that Lightning can even tell what it is. Just didn't need to have it appraised.
The Chocobo told her what it was.
Oh, that's a good point. She didn't have the Chocobo to help her with that when she was fighting in the desert. The Chocobo is wildlands only. And in the classic Cloud Strife tradition, she's carrying a sword that weighs more than she does.
I mean, how could we say it weighs more than she does? We don't know her weight, and we also don't know what this magical glowing
Purple shit is.
sword.
That is true.
Oh no, it could be made out of carbon fiber. It might be weighing less than her. Who knows?
I think it's made of bothadesium, actually.
It might as well be.
I'm willing to guess. There's some bothadesium involved in this construction. Alright, so it's critical that I remember how to jump. It's actually really not an intuitive button that you use for having the Chocobo jump around.
Was it pushing in the stick or something?
No, it's just not positioned where it would be if I was playing a platformer.
Gotcha.
It's on the far right. Maybe that is where the jump button is. I don't know. Yeah.
There's no standardization for the jump button. It just almost always is your lower right button.
Right.
Trying to think of ones where it's been triangle, because that's the other one that it typically is.
Well, I got a old style Xbox controller, so it's not even using the letters, which makes it that little extra bit weird. As long as I'm using the EPs, I am going to throw down the spell, which prevents time from passing for a limited amount of time. That being an oxymoron, since time isn't passing, but I didn't design.
Appreciate you using your resources while I'm around. I'm a good influence in that, I hope.
The thing is, this approach I've taken, I've wiped out a lot of enemies early in the game, and they are how you get EP back, so I've actually really limited my ability to renew that resource. And yeah.
It is sort of weird in a game where you can just literally genocide enemies.
I don't think I've ever played a game like it. I know there's some other ones that use that mechanic, but it's not a common thing on like AAA games for consoles. You can just exterminate species and never have to deal with them again.
And it's typically not a thing on JRPGs. Like the closest thing I can think of is like Soul Blazer and things like that.
Yeah. And if I remember Soul Blazer right, there's really never a point where you can screw yourself over like that. This game, I don't think this game is meant to have a conservationist message or anything like that, but you can kind of limit yourself a bit if you wipe out certain resources Whereas in Soul Blazer, it's just like, oh, you killed all of this enemy type, so you've unlocked all of the plants that are now people who talk to you that you could possibly get from these enemies.
The load-bearing roly-polies are gone, so now a cave is open.
Exactly. All right, Mr. Chaos guy, get over here.
Trying to get back.
We can scatter them easily.
All these Anubai just putzing around, doing nothing.
There's a lot of death that is not happening, Mr. Anubis, and I blame you.
Did you know that Robotnik Jr. wanted to die? You have failed him.
He actually didn't want to die. He's one of the few people we've met that it's not.
Because that's the narrative I wrote.
Okay, that's true. In Lethal's reality, Robotnik Jr. has a death wish.
The truth inside me says that he has a death wish.
Who am I to question Lethal's truth? It is true for him. Alright, so we are now making our way, assuming I didn't make a mistake by jumping onto the low ground here, to the village of the followers of the Goddess of Chaos. And this was getting here was a big deal back when we had to get here. Now it's just a place where I'm going to do a side quest. But a whole lot went into making this successful in the first place. Now it's just like, yeah, it's probably a side quest we can knock out while we were at the village of the followers of the Goddess of Chaos.
I mean, while you're in the neighborhood, might as well.
Yeah, the neighborhood that we are in, because I've actually traveled pretty extensively to get here, but yes.
Oh no!
Time is passing again! I can't do it, Lethal. I can't spend more points on that right now. I can't go down there and fight that guy, because it would mean getting back up here.
It's better to have our time limited. It makes it more precious.
I'll tell you, it is the thing about this game. I really like I like some of the combat mechanics in Final Fantasy XIII. It gets a bad rap. It can be a lot of fun. But what's crushingly boring about the first game is how linear it is. This game is wide open, but you constantly have a clock in your fucking face. There's no screen where this clock is not there telling you that your time is limited.
You know, at least it pauses when you're in the map. It could be a real dick and not do that.
Yeah, then you're just like, I'm afraid to pause. I have to menu at ultra speed.
Yes, let me go ahead and go into like the PlayStation or Xbox screen, so it actually suspends the game.
Speedrun tactics, just you play the game normally without stress. So this is Professor Latham. This village, by the way, everyone wears cloaks and hoods. That's a good thing. Obviously that means everything's on the up and up around here. For sake of the story, we were up here in the Temple of Chaos where we fought various monsters, dealt with the scary boss of the last game, and all sorts of chaotic shit happened. But while we were in there, we happened to look at some art on the walls that this guy was interested in. So let's see if we can make some increased max hit points and attack power for lightning out of this.
Have you found it? I speak of the Grail of Valhalla.
Which he had never
I don't
previously
have any
mentioned.
solid clues, but I did come across some strange writing that might be connected somehow.
Huh?
It was kind of loopedy. It looked like Chinese. I think it might have been Korean.
I love how you're talking to him through the chocobo's neck.
Exactly. I copied some of the more interesting looking stuff. What do you think?
Some of it's really weird, man. There's a lot of stuff with tentacles.
Of course I can. If, that is, I have the one and only copy of the legendary scriptures of the goddess Intro.
So do you?
Let me get this straight. If I want to decipher these mystery glyphs, I need a legendary book. A book so rare that only one of them exists?
Not all things that exist have physical form. The scriptures of which I speak are inside my mind.
So if I stab this,
harder.
yeah, if I stab this sword through your mind, that means they'll be on this sword. Is that what you're telling me, Professor?
I am, however, a capricious man, and I cannot guarantee I will speak the truth.
Oh, I got you. So I don't know why he's being capricious, but not giving him the glyphs is not going to get us anywhere. So let's hand him over.
Give me the writings you have, and I shall decipher them.
Well, there's a bunch of kanji, and there's pictures of girls on their way home from tennis practice being stalked by some kind of tentacle beast. Can you tell me what's going on?
He's all, let me see those. And then he gives you back a picture. Your eyes go wide. It's a picture of a middle finger. And then he is gone.
Yes, now these kanji pictures, these porno pictures will live in my mind.
It would appear so. I believe you have stumbled on valuable.
I didn't stumble on shit, old man. I've had very careful things I've been doing. Alright, so I guess in somewhere in all that he was actually told us what to do, so we should probably read about that. Mother and daughter, it is the Grail of Valhalla. So he wants us to, born by wings of white, the chosen one flies across heaven's path to where the sacred vessel lies, in Mordor where the shadows dwell. So we're supposed to fly around on this chocobo and figure out where the thing is.
All right.
We're basically hopping around to places we can't get to without the chocobo.
Now that we've spoken to him, it'll actually be there.
And the thing is, I've actually seen them, and they're just there, and you can't interact with them. And by them, I mean I've seen them before. I don't know how many you have to find to actually win this quest. But
well, tally-ho!
Yeah.
Let's just hunt for them.
Do I remember how to do this? Here is one of them, I think. Here next to all the question mark people.
It's literally on the other side of the place, and he has not seen
I
it.
wonder what was written here. If the writing had not been worn away, there are people who might have read the words.
Whoa, that
The
is
scriptures
deep.
of the goddess. That's the key to decoding the glyphs. But the book is just a legend now. Who knows if it even exists?
Well, Professor What's-His-Face over there seems to know. Anyway,
Yeah,
I
it's in
guess...
Professor Layton's head.
Yeah. Professor Latency. So that doesn't seem to be one of them. But I know there is a way... Let's see, you come around here. This is how you get into the temple where you fight the boss. Come all the way around here, and you have to skip and jump about. Here we go. This is one of them.
What are these?
Aha. Perhaps I can assist.
I've been following you.
You followed me?
Prompted by idle curiosity.
I mean, I was just down the
Does
hill.
this writing interest you? Allow me to.
I do love meeting interesting people.
Heaven's path is the way of prayer. Bow low and worship their goddess. Wings born on sacred air. There is more, but the letters are worn away.
That's enough. Wings born on sacred air. I think I have that covered, and something tells me I know where this heaven's path is.
It's here on screen, right in the middle of the shot.
You see it, player? Do you see it?
Orko's here, hiding in the background. Shining object lies half buried in the dirt. Retrieve it? No, let's just walk away and give up on this quest now. Plate metal fragment.
How'd she know what it
It
was?
looks like a relic from ancient times. I wonder if it's something to do with the Grail of Valhalla.
I should take it back to Robotnik Jr.
This is what I call a soda can.
This is actually a bronze medal. You've seen hundreds of these. What the hell's wrong with you? Did you suffer some trauma in the head?
Actually, I did.
Makes all sense. Yeah,
That's
another
more of
one
a
is-
riding, but either way.
I didn't hear him saying anything about what tomorrow is for 2 rows.
A silver.
Another fragment. It looks like the others. I should keep searching. They might be clues to tracking down the Grail.
Oh, this is exciting.
We're getting pieces of the Grail? Who even knows?
And dunk. Yeah, here's a treasure chest that we already found. Treasure chests in this game being weird floating spheres.
Just as they were in the first game of the 13s.
Of the 13 series. I don't know where the hell this... I mean, it seems like she will probably tell us when we have found enough fragments for the quest.
I was gonna say, was that a ladder over here?
Yeah, which I won't be able to climb with Choki the Chocobo, but you are right, I could actually climb it without him and see if there's anything up here. That would be a clever move.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Puzzle Master Lethal is here for this reason.
Sherlock Lethal strikes again. Golden medal.
Oh, it's
fragment.
gold. I do like the item acquired text.
I better collect everything. I've got a nice collection of shards, but I'm no closer to the Grail. Maybe I should show these to the professor and see what he thinks.
Wow. Here you go.
That's your cue, player. Now, it is time to go see Professor Layton, and he can tell you all the puzzle solutions.
Special thanks to Lethal Feline for figuring that one out. I feel like
Speaking
I
of
would have
figuring
got
things
there
out.
eventually. How much time? I think we might, just call this one a video. Have a cliffhanger.
The exciting conclusion to our
Yes.
Professor trials. Next time.
Professor Latham has been given all of the pieces. What will the Grail reveal? Tune in next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.